All right, we're going to talk about the top 10 things prospective college students, parents, and the prospective student themselves might want to know. Real tongue twister. Um, about alternatives to traditional higher education. Welcome, colleagues. Welcome, prospective students. Welcome, parents of prospective students. I'm George Sloan, founder and dean of Myford University. We are an alternative approach to traditional higher education, and we're going to talk about some things that you might want to consider. Um, Everyone seems to believe that traditional higher education is the best and only route. Not so fast. There are a number of different ways to go. So I wanted to dispel some of the myths, and I made up a list of 10 reasons, and I'm going to share them with you. Number one, alternatives are no longer second best. Think about that. Everyone, oh, go to college, go to college. Whose best interest is it for your son or daughter or you to go to college? Not necessarily yours. Some of these alternatives are no longer second best. The trades pay very, very well, very limited time commitment, and not as much money to get a trade and get you out into the workforce very quickly. That's just one alternative. All right. Number two, the cost versus the ROI. College is the cost of going to college is out of control. And the problem is that while the costs are shooting up a few 100%, the average starting salaries are not keeping up. And the return on investment, or ROI, is just not the same as it used to be. It's just not there anymore. And part of the problem, again, here's an economics case for you. When you increase the supply of college degree holding graduates, the more there are, the less value it is because they're not as scarce as they used to be. Think about that concept for a second. All right, let's talk about number three. Employers value skills and the ability to solve problems and get results more than they value degrees. Degree, it doesn't necessarily prepare you for the real world and action in the field. The degree is going to demonstrate that, hey, you showed up for classes and you were able to get a certain grade level, but it's really not an on the job training program. It doesn't hold the same weight, and a lot of employers are saying, what can you do? And we're more important that's more important to us than where you went. Number four, time to career entry is much, much shorter with a lot of these alternatives. Um, Personally, I these days I would say you probably want to go and either get out and work for someone, and learn the business as fast as you can, because you'll be making money and you can continue your education. You can do courses, you can do certifications. These are all alternatives, and you can get yourself up to speed while you're earning. You think about it. You're going to pay to learn, or you want to get paid to learn. Different concept. All right. Number five, job security exists outside the college path. A lot of white collar workers who are college graduates are suffering from layoffs. A lot of that's going on right now. But there are certain jobs, particularly in the trades, for example, where you're highly in demand. The trades are graying out. A lot of the tradespeople are aging out and retiring, and there aren't enough people. So there's a case where supply and demand could actually work in your favor. And these folks that are coming out real quick with these skills and abilities out of trade schools, or you can even go the apprenticeship route. They are earning money, and earning good money, and they're not going to be replaced real quick, because the bottom line is you're going to need people to fix things. Uh, Robots are not going to replace them anytime soon. May happen years and years from now, but it's not going to happen in the next few years. All right. Number six, entrepreneurship is a legit path. There is nothing wrong with entrepreneurship. Now, listen, I'm not talking necessarily about having this big dream of rocking the world and creating the next Facebook, which isn't even the hottest thing anymore. But you know what I mean. Entrepreneurship could mean starting a simple and small business that provides a valuable service that, again, people are in high demand for. So it's a legit path. some businesses might be able to be started for just a couple $1,000s or even next to nothing, and you can earn very good money from doing that. And at the end of it, after you've built the business, you actually have something you can sell. You can't sell your college degree, but if you build a business that's been, providing you income and teaching you how to run a business, you actually may have an asset that can be sold. So there's a bonus to it. Okay. Number 7, learning doesn't have to stop with college. In fact, it shouldn't. Everyone should constantly be learning, upgrading, improving, adding to their repertoire. Learning should be lifetime. uh, 20, 30, 40 years ago, you could probably get by with just learning one thing and you could pretty much run a whole career on it. Things are changing so fast now, you can't do that. So what you're going to need to do is apparently every now and then either upgrade your skills, and in some cases you may change industries. You're going to be doing different things. So that's another approach. All right. Number 8, prestige does not guarantee success. I can't tell you how many idiots I've met from Ivy League schools, whereas people I've met from state schools or even community colleges are much sharper. So just because it's prestigious doesn't mean you're going to get someone who is highly capable, highly competent, and it doesn't guarantee success. And it's not so much a slight on the institutions as much as they're just some people that weren't necessarily cut out and they got in for one reason or another. Again, prestige does not guarantee success. All right, number 9, alternatives build proof of work. They build the ability for you to say, hey, I've dealt with this problem before. Here's how I dealt with it. And I can do it for you. And I can do it cost effectively. And I can get you more sales, more profitability, whatever it might be. You're able to demonstrate your ability to either work on your own as an individual contributor, or to work as a team, or to be a manager, or more importantly, you should always be striving to be a leader. But going and doing some of these alternatives builds that proof. All right, number 10, kind of like when I said in the NBA top 10 list, college will always be there later if it's needed. Again, college is not necessarily the only way to go. Now, I will state, if you're going into STEM or you're going into law or you're going into education, there are certain things and requirements that are built in. You must get an undergraduate degree to go into a lot of those fields. And there's a reason for that. Eventually, I'm going to be doing a podcast on that whole concept. It's a barrier to entry, but if you need to know. But the bottom line is, even if you don't go to college now, who's to say you can't go 5 years from now? It's still going to be there. So these are 10 reasons and 10 things to consider if you are a parent of a prospective college student or a prospective college student yourself, that alternatives to traditional higher education do exist, and they're becoming more and more viable and valuable when you look at the situation and current state of higher traditional education. Okay, I'm George Sloan with myforduniversity.com. If you want to learn more about these concepts and others, please visit us. Quite a bit of material to be looked at if you'd like. myforduniversity.com, where you learn it fast and apply it faster. We'll see you the next time.